This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It is 4:27 here on your Monday morning, May the 4th. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. We want to get to your top stories that we're talking about today before we officially get into the show. So starting with the big news today, what everyone's talking about is that roadmap to safely reopen Indiana. We know those stage 2, it's starting today here, except for a few counties across the state that are remaining closed at this time. So basically, we're going to be breaking down what types of businesses are able to open today and at what capacity, and then what that means going forward. We know a lot of this is a test this week to see what can officially open next week. So we'll be keeping you updated on what all of the different businesses are. A lot of people wondering. It's a big, long list, so we'll break that down for you and make it a little easier to understand. Something else that we're following today has to do with summer starting soon for students. This is a time when normally a lot of students, college students, do internships, summer jobs that may help lead to a career. But during the uncertainty right now, a lot of people working from home, they may not be able to make those in-person connections, shake those hands as you normally would. So what does that mean for people who are usually needing to use the summer for career opportunities? We're going to be speaking with you, Indy, and Kelsey will have more on that story, how people can still make their summer plans worth it, and so you don't get behind in your career or in your schooling. So we'll have that story coming up. We do want to take a turn right now to our forecast. I think we can all give a round of applause to Todd Clausen for a beautiful weekend of weather. Todd, especially Saturday. Wow, no complaints over here. Even the rain, you know, it was pretty loud Saturday night into Sunday, but it cleared out pretty well.
Yeah, you know, it timed out well. The rain came in after everybody was done with their outdoor activities on Saturday. It rained into early Sunday morning, and then we got into the sunshine again yesterday. Taken today, it's a little cooler than it was over the weekend with temperatures that will be in the 60s, but it's dry, and the temperatures will be in the 60s. Right now, we sit in the 40s and 50s across the area, and high temperatures today will eventually get up to right around 66 degrees. We start off sunny, the clouds increase late, but then showers will develop late in the forecast, and once those showers do arrive, they're going to be with us, Lauren, off and on tomorrow and throughout much of the week. We are going to be trending colder as well. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Something else we have for you today is an app that's working to promote local businesses. We know this is a tough time for businesses, and so we're going to tell you a little bit more about the Drum app, what it is, and how it connects gig workers to local businesses, and how this could help keep some businesses afloat by giving them that extra support and extra promotion that they need. We'll have that plus news, weather, and traffic coming right up here on Good Morning Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
I think it's time. I think it's time.
The next stage in reopening Indiana starts today. Working for you, we're breaking down which businesses can reopen today and the restrictions they face. Plus, a new study aims to look at how governments across the country responded to COVID-19. This morning, we're looking at why the study has a big connection to the state of Indiana. But before we get to those top stories today, we want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana on your Monday, the start of a brand new work week here at 4:30. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen, still social distancing from home. Todd, good morning to you. What can we expect in our forecast today?
You know, it's a little cooler than it was over the weekend. We talked just a few minutes ago, Lauren, how terrific Saturday was. Temperatures in the 80s. A little cooler yesterday with that cold front going through. And this morning, we're starting off with temperatures that are in the 40s and 50s. Not bad for this time of year. 45 in Indy, 50 in Lafayette. 46 is the current temperature as you make your way into the Crawfordsville area as well as Greenfield and Connorsville. We are dry. There's one little band of cloud cover to the north from Lafayette to Muncie. That'll be dropping down to the south here throughout the course of the morning hours, but we are not expecting any rainfall, at least for the most part during the daytime hours. Off to our west, if you look way to the left-hand side of your screen there near Omaha, you'll notice a few spotty showers. Those will eventually get in here later on this evening, and that'll start a pretty unsettled weather pattern. But until then, we'll start off with plenty of sunshine this morning, near 60 already by the noon hour, 65 degrees with mostly cloudy skies by the time we get to 4 p.m. And then again, those showers arrive later on tonight. We'll talk more about that and look at your 7-day planning forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic as you start your Monday. Something to keep in mind for you as you're heading out the door this week is we still have the the closure in the downtown area of I-70 from there all the way over to the east side at 465. Both directions still remain closed throughout this entire week. Keep that in mind. This is a look right now at I-65 near St. Clair Street. We do have some lane restrictions as you're heading up I-65 due to the closure there at I-70. But other than that, things look to be moving along just fine. Pretty quiet there this morning. So let's take one more look from our NDOT traffic camera. This one is up in Fishers. Good morning to you. I-69 here at 116th Street. We'll continue to keep you updated if there are any crashes or delays involving your morning drive. Here at 4:32, we are following breaking news this morning out of Henry County. Sheriff's officials tell us that they're searching for 2 inmates who broke out of the Henry County Transition Center. Authorities say Paige Thomas and Felicia Davis ran from the facility following a disturbance. If you have any information on the pair's whereabouts, you're asked to call the Henry County Dispatch Center at 765-529-4901. New from overnight, a family of 4 is safe following this home explosion that took place on the city's northwest side. It happened on Dabney Drive, that's near 46th Street and High School Road, around 11 o'clock last night. The explosion destroyed the entire back of a home and melted siding on the home next door. Fire officials there believe that a propane heater in the garage caused this explosion. Also new from overnight, 2 people are in the hospital following a late night fire in Brownsburg. Firefighters tell us that the fire started around 10:30 last night on Dover Boulevard. This morning, firefighters are working to learn more about what started the fire. The condition of those taken to the hospital has not been released at this time. Well, today, most of the Hoosier State is moving into phase 2 of Governor Holcomb's Back on Track Indiana plan. Cass, Lake, Marion, and Monroe counties are not moving forward because COVID-19 is more widespread there. In this phase, most retailers like malls are able to reopen and operate at 50% capacity. If a week passes with no major issues, restaurants can open at 50% capacity. Hair salons and barbershops can open by appointment only. Stage 3 will start May 24th. That's when gyms, fitness centers, playgrounds, tennis courts, and theaters can operate at half capacity. Stage 4 starts June 14th. That means retail stores and malls can operate at full capacity. Dining rooms and restaurants will be able to operate at 75% capacity. Bars and nightclubs at half capacity. Museums, zoos, and aquariums can reopen, and sports leagues and tournaments can resume. Finally, in Stage 5, that starts July 4th, conventions, sporting events, fairs, and festivals may resume. Governor Holcomb says while getting the economy going is important, it's also important to never forget this pandemic has taken the lives of more than 1,000 Hoosiers and counting.
We will honor their memories by never forgetting them, their smiles, their laughter, their love, their wisdom, their good works while they were here with us.
The governor says the plan to reopen is not set in stone. Many of the details could change based on hospitalizations, ventilator availability, testing capabilities, and contact tracing efforts. Businesses now know exactly when and how they'll be allowed to reopen under the state's plan. Some have been preparing for weeks to adjust to the changes. Rosie's Place is a local restaurant on 9th Street here in downtown Noblesville. It has continued to provide carry-out meals under stay-at-home orders, but now the focus is shifting to welcoming customers to dine inside the building once again. The owner says while she's excited, she warns that things won't be the same before the pandemic.
When what people are looking for from their local haunt that they go to is to have that community feel back where they get to come in and slide into the booth and talk to the staff and talk to each other, and we're not going to be there.
Well, the owner says she will follow CDC guidelines when reopening. That includes limiting guests to 50% capacity, requiring staff members to wear face coverings, and screening employees daily. The future of life in America with COVID-19. The virus already forcing big changes at restaurants, airports, movie theaters, and casinos. As ABC's Kenneth Moten reports, America's #1 sport is about to see some big changes as well.
This morning, from the casino floor to the skies, to sports, a glimpse of what America's return to reality could look like. The NFL is planning to release a full schedule later this week with a start date of September 10th and with fans reportedly in attendance.
I think it's important to make fans feel safe.
Tom Garfinkel is the CEO of the Miami Dolphins. He tells Good Morning America they're already making changes to Hard Rock Stadium to make it the gold standard for safety.
What we've done is significantly reduce capacity, keeping the stadium cashless, so it's basically touchless.
And now, MGM Resorts is reportedly pitching a plan to the NBA to finish its season in Las Vegas. According to the New York Times, the proposal says 24 courts could be built at the MGM convention centers, and players, their families, and staff would stay at the resort. Meanwhile, on the Vegas Strip, gambling revenue at some casinos was down 97% last month. This is what poker tables could look like when they reopen. Glass on 3 sides separating players from the dealer. On the big screen, some theaters showing movies again, like this one in Texas, are now using caution tape to block off rows and enforce social distancing, while asking customers about any symptoms they might have.
If that answer is yes, we're going to politely ask you to come back and refund your money.
At the airport, this could be the future for some travelers. A full-body disinfectant box now being used in Hong Kong to fully clean passengers and their clothes. On board your next flight, all major U.S. airlines have now blocked some or all middle seats for social distancing. One change that's already here, a new rule requiring passengers to wear a face mask.
We feel safer.
I think it is what it is, and if it takes just wearing a little mask in order to travel, then so be it.
Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
Well, 2 IUPUI professors are taking a closer look at state-level executive orders issued across the country meant to manage COVID-19. The research will eventually allow leaders to better understand which orders worked and which ones did not. Peter Fetterman and Callie Colry are both assistant professors at the O'Neill School at IUPUI. Their focus is on 2 types of executive orders, restrictions and suspensions. Restrictions include limiting gatherings and closing non-essential businesses, while suspension includes things like postponing elections or extending tax deadlines. They are comparing each state's actions to its total number of COVID-19 cases.
Identifying effective strategies that are working for states to reduce mobility, to reduce case growth rate. But we're also really concerned about accountability and making sure that we are developing a record in a centralized location of all these big changes to democracy.
Some of the changes for democracy that we're seeing are about putting things online, making access not only physical, but also technological. And so it provides us an opportunity to maybe change the landscape of what democracy looks like.
The professors are creating a public portal to display their findings to help leaders better understand the impact of their decisions for the future and to help people hold their governments accountable. Right now, the data is still being processed, but when comparing Indiana to Montana, Florida, and Ohio, Governor Holcomb appears to have issued fewer orders, but each order tended to include more substance. It is May here in Indiana, and typically that means a month filled with racing. Coming up, how Speedway officials are trying to keep community spirit despite silence at IMS. Todd.
And we're starting off with clear skies across the area and dry conditions. We'll end the day with some of those rain showers that you see off to our west. And once those showers get here, they're kind of sticking around off and on throughout much of the week. We'll take a first look at your 7-day planning forecast coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 4:40. Stay with Lauren and I. We'll be back here in just a few.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 4:43. It is Monday morning, and take a look here at a live look from our tower camera pointing towards the JW Marriott and the hashtag #LoveIndy. We love seeing signs of support all over the city for people and workers who are trying to get through this COVID-19 pandemic. We'll be keeping you updated and taking more looks around the city coming up right here on Good Morning Indiana. Well, a quick reminder for you, if you want to vote in Indiana's primary, it has been moved from tomorrow to June 2nd due to the COVID-19 crisis. The deadline to register is at 11:59 tonight. If you haven't mailed in your registration by now, your best bet is to go online to the Indiana Voter Portal. That's on the Indiana government website. The information you need is on indianavoters.com. At 4:43, the month of May, it's typically all things leading up to the Indy 500, especially in the town of Speedway. But this year, because of the pandemic, there's no racing this month, and the Indy 500 will now take place in August. Now, the Speedway Arts Council is starting a new campaign. It's called It's Still May in Speedway. Families are encouraged to show their pride for their community by decorating their porch, yard, or windows. You're encouraged to register through a link on Speedway Arts Facebook page. Each contest is $5, and all the money goes directly to help local families through the St. Christopher Church Food Pantry.
Even though there isn't racing happening in Speedway or in Indianapolis, it's not the end of the world. I think people should still get out there and celebrate their neighborhoods, celebrate the city of Indianapolis, celebrate the town of Speedway. A lot of people are hurting right now. And so if we can, support one of the busiest food pantries on the West Side while also trying to make people's days, let's do it.
Well, you're encouraged to decorate any way you want. You can do it racing theme, thank essential workers, or just be creative showing your pride for your community. We have all the details right now in the RTV6 app on how you can get involved. Well, a lot of us are needing to stretch our dollars a little further right now. So Stephanie Linebergen with our news partners at Newsy asked the experts, should you be making debt payments during this pandemic?
Coronavirus cash crisis. Should I keep paying down debt during the pandemic?
Make sure that we're able to cover our minimum debt payments. We don't want to try to accelerate and pay off debt any quicker right now because we don't know the timing of when things are going to get back to normal.
It's just one of those situations where it's much, much better to play it safe. So if you're considering how to be paying off your debts right now, unless you're in the what I would call a unicorn position of a stable job and a very healthy emergency savings fund, if that's not your position, bare minimums on everything.
And also understand what the specifics are. If you continue making payments, does it go to the principal? And then are you able to make a bigger dent in that debt? And then you can make a decision on whether that's worthwhile for you right now because maybe you still have income security.
Here at 446 this morning, Puerto Rico residents are cleaning up from a 5.4 magnitude earthquake. The earthquake happened early Saturday morning and it was centered off the coast. Much of the damage was in the city of Ponce. Now, the mayor says that several buildings were damaged. At least 50 families had to find different housing. Puerto Rico officials did not report any injuries or deaths this morning. Time right now for a check of our forecast. Todd Clausen is standing by from home with what the temperatures are and what we can expect as we go into our Monday. Hey, Todd.
Lauren, good morning to you. After such a great weekend with temperatures in the 80s on Saturday, yesterday 74 was the high temperature. Unfortunately, we are now going to be transitioning to a much cooler weather pattern. Our average high now is 69 degrees, and that's that yellow line that you see here. Well, you can see this entire week as we go throughout the next couple days are going to be below that average high. In fact, we are going to be running very, very chilly as we work our way into the coming days. Here are your temperatures right now. We're sitting at the 45-degree mark in Indianapolis. 50 is the current temperature in Lafayette. Bloomington at 46 degrees. In and around the metro area, temperatures are sitting anywhere from 46 in New Pal to 48 in Martinsville. Plainfield is at 53 degrees. And throughout the day today, we start off with a lot of sunshine. That's the good news. That's not an issue here for us for the day today. And temperatures are a little on the cool side, but we'll warm pretty quickly as we go throughout the morning hours. We'll jump about 10 degrees from right now up to 54 by 10 a.m. and then 15 degrees warmer than the current temperature of 45 by the time we get to the noon hour, with temperatures eventually climbing up into the low to mid 60s across most of the area, with a few locations down to the south, maybe getting up closer to 70 degrees. There's that little band of cloud cover that is completely dry. As far as precipitation goes, that's dropping through the state right now, but off to our west, this is where we find the issues for late tonight and then into the day tomorrow. That is what is going to be heading in our direction. So today's your opportunity really this week, with Thursday as well, a potential opportunity to keep doing that neighborhood walk this evening or get outside and enjoy the sunshine at some point. As we go throughout the day, there are the clouds increasing, but again, we're dry until sunset. Once we get past sunset, that's when a few spotty showers will start to develop across the area. Nothing major. However, as we go into early tomorrow morning, that's when more widespread rain is going to start to impact the area once again. So take advantage again of the forecast for the day today. Sunset this evening is at 8:43. Temperatures will still be in the 60s with mostly cloudy skies at that point. And then those spotty showers move in by about 9, 10 o'clock this evening. Tomorrow we'll be dealing with those rain showers off and on throughout most of the day, and it is going to be chilly once again. Highs will only be in the low 50s across most of the area. And then as we work our way throughout throughout the week. Thursday, we get back into the sunshine with a temperature of 61 degrees, but the weekend looking really, really chilly, Lauren. Unfortunately, as we work our way into Mother's Day, high temperatures will only be in the mid-50s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now south of the downtown area where we still have ongoing construction. This has been going on for a few weeks now. I-65 at Keystone Avenue. A traffic shift there, so you can still go northbound and southbound just fine, but especially if you're heading northbound, be ready to shift over to the southbound side of the interstate, and then after the bridge, you'll shift back to the northbound side. The exit ramps remain open. Just take it slow and watch for crews working in the area. Those lanes are a little bit smaller with less shoulder room, so just keep that in mind as you travel south of downtown. Grocery stores have made a lot of changes to make shopping safer, but there's one area in most stores with the highest virus exposure. An epidemiologist with the University of California says the checkout lane is the most dangerous place in the store. Customers and cashiers usually have to stand within 6 feet of each other, and they're both handling products. Some of the largest retailers have put up sneeze guards and provided masks for workers. The Occupational Health and Safety Administration also recommends limiting the number of customers in the store and only opening every other checkout lane. The pandemic has people living in cities pining for more open spaces. Results from a new Harris poll show the coronavirus has a third of people considering moving out of densely populated areas. The authors say it's because they're confined to small homes and they can't take advantage of the usual conveniences of living in a city. They may also be able to work remotely for good, so commuting wouldn't be as much of a concern. For some, it might actually be a good time to look. New home listings are down right now, but mortgage rates are at historic lows. He was a familiar face behind RTV6, and this morning we're remembering a local television icon, Jim Gerard. We'll be right back after this short break.
$25 off any plumbing repair.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. We're taking a look right now from our tower camera down Mass Ave. Pretty quiet out there at this early hour and during much of the day, as most of those businesses remain closed or in some cases open just for carryout or delivery. Don't forget to shop local if you plan to get carryout or delivery. A number of those businesses looking for your help, and a lot of them are planning their steps for reopening as we are looking ahead to next week. So we'll break down those phases and the steps for you coming up here on Good Morning Indiana. Well, this morning we also want to mark the passing of a Channel 6 veteran and local broadcast legend. He was someone who brought music, celebrity interviews, and a little bit of humor into your daily lives back in the 60s and 70s. Jim Gerard.
Live from the Channel 6 studios, the Jim Gerard Show with Charlotte Daniels, the George Nikoloff Orchestra, and Jim's special guests. And now, here's Jim.
Well, we received word that Jim died on Friday, but from 1962 to 1976, he was a WFBM, WRTV Channel 6 TV and radio host, best known for the Jim Gerard Show, hitting the air on 1966. It was a weekday talk show broadcast live from the Channel 6 studio, attracting some of the biggest names of all time: Bob Hope, the Gabor sisters, Carol Channing, Vice President Hubert Humphrey, Liberace, and the amazing Kreskin, just to name a few. Jim also had his own band, the George Nikoloff Orchestra, and we caught up with Jim almost exactly a year ago as part of our 70th anniversary celebration, and he remembered it fondly.
What happened in the course of the day, get to be about noon, and George would have his musicians warming up, and it would reverberate all around the station, all this wonderful music. Anybody who was anybody, they came to us.
Well, Jim won numerous awards for the show while here at Channel 6, including a Casper Award for Public Service. He's also a member of the Indiana Broadcasters Hall of Fame. Jim died on Friday at the age of 93. He's survived by his 3 daughters and son. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, there will be a life celebration held at a later date, and we are thinking of Jim and his family and friends today. We do want to take a turn right now to our forecast. We're starting off a new work week, Todd, and after a great weekend of weather, a lot of people looking to you to see what we can expect for the week ahead.
Yeah, you know, it's not as nice as it's going to be or was this past weekend, Lauren. Going forward, temperatures are going to be a lot cooler. We're going to be below normal, and we'll be dodging some rain showers off and on throughout the course of the week. 66 today, though. Today's a good day for us. Rain returns tomorrow. Spotty showers on Wednesday. Thursday's a decent day with sunshine and temperatures in the 60s, but unfortunately, Mother's Day weekend going to be a chilly one across the area with high temperatures only in the mid-50s. Time now, it's 4:57. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.